Welcome students. Today I'll take the topic classification of computers. We can classify the computers in two ways. One on the basis of working and another is on the basis of configuration. First, we will classify the computers on the basis of their working or operation. So we can divide computers in three categories. First one is analog, second is digital, third is hybrid computer. First we will study about analog computers. What are analog computers? Analog computers, you can say, they can perform numerous mathematical operations simultaneously. Simultaneously means one by manipulating and processing the data which we provide as input. We provide the data in analog form such as weight, temperature, voltage, power and density. An analog system works on continuous variables for the purpose of mathematical computation. The result given by these computers is only approximate. They deal with quantities that vary continuously. Means these computers you can understand in that way. We use speedometer in car, bikes, scooties, etc. That speedometer measures the result in analog form. Means that is a kind of analog computer. We measure temperature, pressure, these quantities in analog form only and with the help of analog devices. Now we will study about digital computers. Digital computers are true computers. You can say these are the computers which we see around us. The computer word, when you speak the word computer, you think about a machine which is made up of CPU, monitor and keyboard, and that is digital computer. So our digital computer works on the principle of binary digit system. Means 0 and 1. What are binary digits? Made up of 0 and 1. 0 means off of the pulse and 1 means pulse is present. Pulse means electric pulse. That is present means 1 represent that electric pulse is present and 0 represent electric pulse is absent. By counting and comparing and manipulating these digits, our digital computer can perform complex tasks and provide more accurate and faster results. So they have an increasing use in the field of designs, research, data processing, and in different fields we are using digital computers. They are of two types. First one is specific purpose computer and another is general purpose computers. Specific purpose computers, it is the one that is used for specific applications. Like if we have to perform some specific task, we have some program, you can say the computers which are used in ATM machines, or you can see the computers which are fitted inside the automatic washing machines. These are the type of specific purpose computers. Second one is general purpose computer. They are used for different types of applications. They can have different programs and do the different types of jobs according to the instructions. So now we will study about different types of third type of computer, that is hybrid computer. Hybrid computer, it is a part of, you can say it is a combination of first computer was analog computer and second was digital. So you can say it is a combination of analog and digital computer. And these computers, you can say, perform the task of both digital and analog computers. You can see the example as these computers are used in scientific applications, in controlling industrial processes, and they are also used in hospitals for measuring heartbeats at petrol pumps also you see these types of computers. And now we will see the types of computers based on configuration. We can divide these type of computers in 4 categories. First one is microcomputer, second one is mini computer, third one is mainframe computer, and fourth one is supercomputer. All these are the parts of digital computer, because as I told you previously that digital computers are true computers. True computers means when the first thing comes in your mind, that the machine which is made up of different parts like monitor, CPU and keyboard, that is known as digital computer. So it has 4 categories. First one is microcomputer. So first we will read about microcomputer. Microcomputers are also known as personal computers or simply PCs. These types of computers use a microprocessor and they cost less and are very small in size. The most popular type of microcomputers are, now we will read the different types of microcomputers. Let us see. As you are seeing on the screen, first one is laptop. Laptop, everyone now, 90% of the people have laptop at their place. So a laptop, you can say it is a portable machine, portable computer which you can carry anywhere. It is portable and its weight is around 4 to 12 pounds depending upon the display, size, hardware and other factors. It is small in size and can easily fit inside a briefcase. These computers are mainly used by business travelers, the people who travel from one place to another, they carry these laptops with them. The screen folds down onto the keyboard when not in use. As the name suggests, they can be used on our lap. Some of the companies which manufacture laptops are HP, Dell, Samsung, Lenovo, Sony, Apple, etc. Now we will read about notebook computers. It is an extremely lightweight personal computer and its weight is 5 to 6 pounds and is small. It is also very small in size. You can say smaller than laptops. A notebook does not have an integrated DVD drive like laptops. Laptops are having DVD drives and CD drives, but these notebooks don't have CD DVD drives. It generally has a smaller memory than a laptop. Now we will read about tablet PCs. What are tablet PCs? So we'll see a tablet PC looks similar to a laptop. The only difference is that the tablet PC does not have a keyboard. Tablet PC, as you might be having also, it has a touch screen which is used to write directly on the screen. On tablet PC we can write directly on the screen. It is not having keyboard. So rather typing on a keyboard, we directly write on the screen. Some common examples of tablet PCs are Apple iPad and Samsung Galaxy Tab. Now we will talk about handheld computer. This is the smallest computer which is known as Personal Digital Assistant or PDA. It is used for you can say appointments, storing addresses and playing games, etc. and some common you can see the these are also having touch screens. These handheld computers are also having touch screens. Now we will see mini computers. Second category of digital computer is mini computer. First one we have studied about microcomputer. Now we will read about mini computers. They are comparatively bigger in size. We are comparing these computers with microcomputers. So they are bigger in size, having higher processing speed, and they are costlier than microcomputers. The capabilities of mini computers are better than personal computers. These are used in business, education, and many other government departments. These computers are generally designed to handle multiple terminals. However, some are also designed for single users and some are designed for multi-users. Mini computers are also used as web servers, you can say. Okay, now we will see the first mini computer which was introduced was it was introduced in the mid 1960s by Digital Equipment Corporation, DEC. After this, IBM Corporation designed a series of mini as 400 computers. AS by 400 computers. Now we talk about mainframe computer. What is mainframe computer? These computers are costlier than micro and mini computers, and they are also larger in size, larger than mini. A mainframe computer processes data at very high speed. You can say it is measured in millions of instructions. It can process millions of instructions per second. These are very expensive computers, and these are designed for multiple users. As they were mini computers were single user operating system, they were designed for single users. They are designed, but mainframe computers are mainly designed for multiple users and process a vast amount of data quickly. They are used in banks, insurance companies, manufacturers, and malls, airlines, etc. Mainframe computers are often used as servers which control the networks of various computers for large companies. Some examples of mainframe computers are, you can say, IBM SY 390 mainframe, which can support up to, you can say, 10,000 users simultaneously. Now we'll see supercomputers. This is the largest, you can say, these are the largest computers if we compare supercomputers from other three categories. These are the largest, most powerful, and most expensive computers, and they are very, very expensive. They are capable of processing trillions of instructions per second, and these computers are used by government agencies such as Revenue Services, Internal Revenue Services, the National Weather Forecasting Services, Defense Department, Space Department, and large organizations and research laboratories use these computers. You can see the examples of supercomputer: Cray 1, Cray 2. These are the Cyber 205. These are the examples of supercomputer. Now we will see the computer performance. What do you understand by computer performance? It is very important that whatever computing device you use works in an efficient manner, and it should be very, very fast. So a few things which affect the overall performance of a computer are given, shown in the slide. How we can judge the performance of a computer? CPU speed. First one is CPU speed. If your CPU works fast, CPU speed, actually the CPU clock speed is measured in hertz. It is also called the clock rate. This speed is a measure of how many clock cycles a CPU can perform per second. For example, a CPU with a clock speed of 2 GHz can perform these many clock cycles as you are seeing on the screen per second. The higher speed means faster task performance of a CPU, like complex calculations or moving data from one place to another place. Now second one is RAM. If the amount of RAM is large enough to hold the information in it, this may result in faster performance. Faster CPU means better performance. Complex, heavy performance, high quality systems and gaming systems need large RAM. If RAM is not large enough, the speed of the computer slows down very rapidly. If you are having, if you want to play games on your computer, then your computer should have large RAM. Then comes hard disk. Your hard disk, you know, the size and the speed of hard disk is also crucial for a computing device. It should be, if your hard disk is having good capacity, its storage capacity is good, it has good speed of storing data, then your computer will be, you can store your data at faster rate. That is all for today. That's all for today. Now we will see the next topic in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.